Well guys, just so you know, I was about halfway done filming the second video on MAD, mean absolute deviation, and I'm on a school laptop and it wasn't plugged in, and it died, and I can confirm that the file does not save. So we're going to redo this. If you are watching this, that means that you already watched mean absolute deviation MAD number 1. So the video that I filmed before this. In reality, I filmed it a half hour ago. You might be watching this the next day. You might be watching it right after the first one. Okay, so that's the beauty of distance learning. You're working at your own pace through my class, more or less throughout the week. So yesterday, guys, sorry, I'm just all over the place. I'm a little flustered. So in yesterday's video, we described and learned about mean absolute deviation. Some of you guys might have heard this last year in 6th grade. Some of you guys might completely not know what this means at all. You might, well, hopefully you know at least a little bit because, you know, you watched yesterday's lecture. But I just mean like this is new stuff for you. So let's go over it. What is mean absolute deviation? What is MAD in your own words? Put it in your own words. So actually pause the video or think about it right now. I'm going to give you some think time. Okay, so in my own words, mean, MAD, it's on average. Mean, on average, how far is each data point from the mean? Typically, how far is each data point here? How different is it from the actual mean? That's what it is in my own words. So yesterday we did a table and we did the, what's it called? Bar graph. All right, today we are going to be focusing on this dot plot that you can see my writing from the video crashing and the pictograph. And then we are going to be concluding MAD and finishing up describing and summarizing data distributions, which is our learning goal. So after today, you should feel even more confident in calculating MAD so you can do your Khan Academy assignment. So step 1 is finding the mean. We find the overall mean from the original dots. So what I did in the first video is, let me get something to cover this up with. In the first video, let me cover this up and cover this up. Okay, so in the first video, we looked at the dot plot and we saw that we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. Now, those 6 dots represent how much we spent in thousands of dollars. So, we spent $1,000 here, $1,000 again, $2,000 and $2,000 again, $5,000 and $9,000. But because it's in the because they told us the scale is that these are all thousands, we can just put the data points as 1, 1, 2, 2, 5, and 9. So you should, in your notes, guys, you can pause this video and make this dot plot. Draw your own number lines, 0 through 10. Put 2 dots on 1, 2 dots on 2, a dot on 5, and a dot on 9. Okay, and then write down the 6 data values for those spots, for the dots. So step 1 is finding the mean. So we add up where the 6 dots are. We add up 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 5 plus 9 are 6 dots, and you get 20. Now we know that mean is adding and dividing. So first you add them all up, and then you divide by how many dots were there? 6. So 20 divided by 6 is 3.3. So we calculated our mean. What does that bar mean over it? Why did I put that bar? Okay, it means that it keeps going, it repeats, it goes on forever as 3. So step 1 is mean. Step 2, subtract. Find the distance, find the difference. Find the distance of each of these dots, of each of the original points, from the mean. So I already wrote them down since the video crashed, but how far was 3.3 from 1? So in my calculator, and I found that using my phone calculator lights up better on the screen, 3.3 from 1, 3.3 minus 1, difference, distance, subtract. It's 2.3 away. Okay? Again, how far away is the second one from 3.3? It's 2.3 away. Okay, how far is 2 from 3.3? Well, 3.3 minus 2 is 1.3 away. We had 2 dots on 2, so we need 1.3 twice. Then we had a dot on 5 and a dot on 9. So 5 minus 3.3, the mean, is 1.7 away. And 9 minus 3.3, the mean, is 5.7 away. So those are our distances. That's how far each dot is from the mean. Step 3, find the mean again, but now it's the mean of the distances that we just found. So first we have to add up the distances, the 6 distances. 2.3 plus 2.3 plus 1.3 plus 1.3 plus 1.7 plus 5.7. And when you add those up, you get 14.6. But remember, mean. You add and divide. So add and then divide by 6 different dots, 6 different distances, so divide by 6. 14.6 divided by 6 is 2.43. The 3 repeated, so I put a bar over it. So that is the MAD for this dot plot. That means on average. Well, our first mean was 3.3, so that means on average, our company spent $3,300. Okay, because if we average all these, we'd be right about 3.3, right here. We would have a dot right there if we had to put all of these together. The average is 3.3. Now, typically, we differed. Typically, these dots differed. The distance from these dots to the average was 2.4 away. So they're about 1, 2 away, yeah, and about 1, 2 away, yeah, because that's between these two. So that's what MAD means. How far on average are we from the average? All right, let's do our last one, the pictograph. And guys, I take time to actually find these graphs because I know that when you get onto Khan Academy, they're not just giving you numbers and saying find the MAD. They actually are giving you data displays. In 7th grade, we have to know how to read data displays, interpret them, describe them, and then compare them. If we had 2 different dot plots, could we compare them? Okay, that's what we're going to be finishing up statistics with next week. Actually, I'm not sure if we're finishing statistics or I don't know. That's what we're going to be doing next week. We're going to compare 2 different dot plots, 2 different bar graphs. So now we have our pictograph. Okay, I highly, highly, highly recommend, guys, pausing the video, doing it before me or with me. So we know that step 1 is find the mean. We taught this to you last week. Find the mean. Step 1, find the mean, just the original mean. You add and divide. Okay, so on January, I see 1 apple. So you guys might just put 1. But that's not what the key says. The key says that 1 apple is actually 10. So January, we actually had 10 apples sold. February, we had 10, 20, 30, 40 apples sold. Not 4, 40, because each 1 apple is actually 10. It makes it a lot easier than having to draw 40 apples out, because I know you guys don't want to count that. All right, in March, we had 10, 20, well, half is 5, so 5, so 25 apples sold. And in April, we sold 10, 20 apples. So I should not have done that in red. I should have done that in green. So step 1, find the mean. So we need to add up these 4 numbers. So add them up. 10, plus 40 plus 25 plus 20. 10 plus 40 plus 25 plus 20 is 95. And then you divide by 4. Why are we dividing by 4, Miss Fry? Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5. Because we're dividing by how many numbers we added up, how many months there were. So 95 divided by the 4 months. So 95 apples, we sold 95 apples total in 4 months. We sold 95 apples total. So on average, divided by 4, on average we sold 23.75 apples. So almost 24 apples on average. That's our mean, that's our average. On average, we were about 24 apples. Now, step 2, distance or difference. Step 2, distance or difference, whichever one you guys prefer. So, distance, subtract. How far away was January from the average? Well, in January we sold 10. How far away is that from 23.75? Distance, subtract. How far away? 23.75 minus the 10 we sold in January. Well, that's 13.75 away. How far is 40 from 23.75? Well, let's see. 40 minus 23.75, 16.25. So the distance for February was 16.25. And remember, distances, we keep them positive. So we don't care if we went up or down. Okay. 25. 23.75. How far away is that from 25? 25 minus 23.75, the average, is 1.25 away for March. Okay, try to do April on your own. How far away is 20 from 23.75, the average? 23.75 minus the 20 we sold in April, 3.75 away. So March and April have lower distances than January and February. So they were closer to the average. Okay, maybe that's more like apple season. Not apple season. No, because that wouldn't make sense. We sold a ton in February, so maybe February's apple season. They taste really good. So we found the distances. Now, step 4. Oh my goodness, not 4, 3. Step 3, we're finding the mean again of the distances. So we're finding the mean of the distances. We add up those distances and then we divide. So add them up. 13.75 plus 16.25 plus 1.25 plus 3.75. So let's add up. How far total were we from the average? 13.75 plus 16.25 plus 1.25 plus 3.75. 35. So the total distance was 35. But we have to divide that. We're doing mean. So 35 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers we added because there were 4 months. So divide by 4 equals 8.75. So that means, that's the MAD, 8.75 apples. So that means, what do you think that means in your own words? It means we typically were about 8.75, so almost 9 apples away from the average overall. Now obviously some of them were closer to like 10 or 15 away. Some of them are pretty much right there. So these two are definitely throwing off the mean. They're definitely skewing the data. But this is the MAD. Guys, MAD is pretty difficult in my opinion. There's 3 steps. Find the mean of all the data. Then you find how far is each point from the mean. And then find the mean of the distances. So this wraps up my lecture notes on MAD. There's 2 videos on it. Make sure you watch these videos before you do the Khan Academy.